What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, daily news reports, what's going on in the United States, what's going on in Washington, D.C., and what's going on with the next stimulus package, which will be $3.5 trillion and is being worked on by the Senate and now the U.S. House of Representatives. And we'll be given an update by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, the moderate Democrats and the progressive Democrats that are kind of arguing about what to do next with the next stimulus package, which will be the largest stimulus package ever and has been announced at $3.5 trillion, could be negotiated a little bit around there. There's a lot of there's a lot of progressive Democrats that want it to be more, and there's some moderate Democrats that want it to be a little bit less. And we'll be updating you guys on that in this video. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, thank you so much for giving these videos a like. It really helps out my videos. Let's jump right in. We got a lot to cover. Okay, yesterday, as you can see here, the Biden administration announced, and the CDC, that they are going to be offering booster shots for Pfizer and Moderna, or also considered third shots, beginning in September for the vaccine, starting on September 20th. For people who have had their 2 shots for Pfizer and Moderna, 8 months after you have received your second shot, of course, if you want to get it. So you will now be able to get a booster shot or a third shot up to 8 months after your second shot if you want to get it. And they'll also be requiring vaccinations for nursing home staff. Yeah, the Delta variant now accounts for 98.8% of new U.S. infections, the CDC says. So virtually all of the virus infections are now the Delta variant, according to the CDC. Also, some interesting news. Moderna, the same company that makes the vaccine, is set to start human trials on an experimental mRNA HIV vaccine. Yeah. Moderna could start a phase 1 trial of its mRNA HIV vaccine as early as this week, according to clinicaltrials.gov update. Moderna could start its experimental HIV vaccine as early as, well, today, according to a new post on clinicaltrials.gov. It's only going to start with as many as 56 healthy adults without HIV to test the safety of the vaccine, because again, it's just a phase 1 clinical trial. But I thought that was very interesting, and this is a similar technology to the big vaccine that everybody is using now. So yeah, very interesting technology to see how this could be used going forward for other types of viruses, like the HIV virus. Now, the pandemic has affected us all in a lot more ways than, well, just the medical portion of the virus. As you can see here, even renters can't escape the housing crisis. Prices just spiked at the fastest rate in 16 years. As you can see here, renters beware. People who thought they wanted to buy a home but balked at the skyrocketing prices. As you know, home prices on the housing market has just been on fire. Home prices are just out of this world on fire lately, are coming for the rental market, and it's already sparking a new affordability crisis. Single-family rent prices rose 7.5% year over year in June. Yeah, that's up 6.6% growth in May and marks the fastest price growth since at least 2005. Prices grew the most for higher priced rentals year over year, with inflation hitting 9.6% in June. Lower priced units saw prices rise 5.3% from a year ago. And well, if you're trying to buy a home, It's actually even worse. Prices rose 17.2% year over year in June. According to housing data company CoreLogic said a few weeks ago. Yeah, that's the largest 1 year increase since 1979, though the measure is somewhat skewed by the much lower prices seen earlier in the pandemic. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Have you been looking for a home? Have you seen these much higher home prices? Have you seen higher rental prices? Has your rent gone up? Do you have a landlord that has raised rental prices? Have you seen higher rent prices? Have you seen higher home prices? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I know for sure that pretty much both of these have gone up. The question is how much? Let me know how it is in your area. Are you seeing dramatic differences or just a little bit of a difference in your area? Now, there are several different proposals to tackle some of this through either vouchers or tax credits or even, possible up to $25,000 home buyer tax credits or even vouchers for renters. But we'll have to see what actually happens in this next stimulus package, as yeah, there are several different proposals, as you can see here on this list, including a $25,000 home buyer credit. There's several different ways this could work. One, for home buyers or new home buyers that have bought a home within the last 12 months to 36 months, you actually could get a tax credit. It also could work for new home buyers that haven't bought yet. You actually can get a down payments credit that actually could happen at closing time, that it actually could count as a down payment, but that would be for people who haven't bought yet. There's several different proposals. We'll have to see if this happens in this next package. Again, we're not entirely sure what's going to make it in this next package because they're working on the bill right now. I'll get to that, some new information on what they're working on in the bill right now. Of course, an actual stimulus check or actual tax credits, remember that certain form of tax credits they can actually just give you right now, like the child tax credits, that are going out right now, $250 to $300 per month, or $3,000 to $3,600 per year per child. Of course, everybody kind of understands that right now, that they can send those out in advance in monthly checks. Again, you don't even need to necessarily be a tax filer. Remember, if you're a non-filer, I've seen some comments from people saying, I didn't get my child tax credit. I'm a non-filer. If you're a non-filer, you need to go to the IRS's website and fill out the non-filers tool. Really quickly, let me just show you this. So hopefully I won't forget to put the link in the description, but I'll put a link in the description for you for this. To this. So there's a link to the IRS's webpage where you can manage your payments. If you didn't get your most recent payment, note that they had a glitch with the last payment, that even if you're normally getting direct deposit, you might be getting this most recent payment in the mail, a check in the mail. Literally thousands of our people said they got their August payment in the mail. So please be aware of that. But if you're a non-filer, meaning you don't normally file your tax return, you have to fill out this form here. You can see this this is on the IRS's website here. If you aren't required to file a tax return and you haven't given us your information already, you will need to give us some basic information for the child tax credit. Okay. Remember that the Democrats, who passed the third stimulus check package on their own without a single Republican vote, changed it to where you didn't need any earned income at all. You don't need a single dollar of earned income to get the child tax credit. Okay, but you do need to fill out this form. It's very important, guys. And please share this information with anybody you know that this might be applicable to, because if you don't follow this information, you might miss out on $3,000 to $3,600 per child, because if you don't file tax returns, you're probably not going to get this money if you don't follow that. Okay. You can also check to see if you're eligible here. You can also provide new banking account information here and all sorts of things. You can also check to see if you didn't get your payments or anything like that. If you've never logged in here before for the child tax credit payments, just be aware that you may have to go through an ID verification and it kind of takes a little bit of a long time. Okay. But really, I think a lot of these politicians are realizing that stimulus checks or tax credits, in this case, child tax credits or even adult tax credits, which they're saying is going to be in this next package. We don't know exactly how it's going to work, but stimulus checks are actually the easiest way to just help people out in the case of affordable housing. Hey, rent's going up, everything's going up. The easiest way to just help people out, pay for this stuff, is just through stimulus checks because, hey, yeah, you want to help people out with their rent. Well, the easiest way to do it is just to give them money, give them stimulus checks or tax credits, however you want to call it. We got a lot of politicians kind of beating around the bush here saying, yeah, we want to help you out with rent. We want to give you vouchers. We want to give you tax credits. But the problem is kind of impacting that and kind of doing that with some like creative ways with home buyer tax credits and rent assistance. We've kind of all know the rent assistance is they've had a problem getting that out, where if they just do stimulus checks, we know that that gets out immediate assistance to everybody. And even these child tax credits, I mean, they've kind of had some snafus with this. Even the August payment, a lot of people are getting them in the mail, and they're saying that the August payment is delayed for some people. But even that is kind of a lot more immediate than some of these other, like even the rent assistance. Now, the rent assistance has been really, really important for some people because if you have gotten the rent assistance in the past, like a lot of our viewers have, I probably need to do a quick update on that because if you know how to get rent assistance, if you've ever gotten it, if you've gotten 6 months of rent assistance or a year of rent assistance, man, if you got a year of rent assistance that they paid a year of your rent, you're like, hallelujah. It's like one of the greatest things ever. It's actually way better than a single stimulus check because imagine getting a whole year of your rent paid. I probably should do a quick update on it because I can literally update it on it in a few minutes here, maybe in an upcoming video. But yeah, imagine getting a year of your rent paid. And honestly, it's one of the things they could do in the next stimulus package as well. Another thing I want to touch on in the next stimulus package they could do is the $10,200 unemployment tax credit, which I'm actually happy to say I have a lot of people commenting on that they just got their payments yesterday. And probably a lot of people will be saying they got them today. Yeah, and that's really, really cool because, yes, there is pretty much a confirmed round now that there are I've seen a lot of comments that, I don't know, millions of people are getting their next round or the next round of unemployment tax refunds or stimulus provision are going out right now. So if you're waiting on the unemployment tax break, this is from the third stimulus check package, the $10,200 unemployment tax break. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but that's that stimulus provision they added in at the very last moment from the third stimulus check package. Those are going out right now. Let me know down below in the comments or let our viewers know if you got this via direct deposit, if your paper check, you got it. But I have seen lots of people say, I got it yesterday. I've seen a few people say they got over $3,000 yesterday. So this is if you had unemployment income last year. The stimulus provision basically makes the first $10,200 of unemployment income tax free. So I think most of these people are married filing jointly people, but there could be some single people in there as well. And yeah, I know a lot of you people have been waiting a long time on these. So these are going out right now. It's kind of like the next round. And congratulations on waiting forever. But hey, you got these. And a lot of these are really, really big returns. I mean, anywhere from probably near $1,000, several $100s to several $1,000s. And yes, the IRS is a hot, hot mess. They have recently said that there is 35 million tax returns in a backlog. at the IRS. So if you've been waiting for a tax return, you are not alone. You are one of 35 million that they are behind on. Yeah. And honestly, this it's probably going to be a long, long time before they ever get those cleared up. If they ever get those cleared up. Yeah. So Nancy Pelosi is in a kind of a standoff with a little bit of her Democrats in the House of Representatives that is now working on the bill. So the Senate has passed the procedural motions on the $3.5 trillion stimulus package and has now passed the bill onto the House, which actually now has to work on it. Here, check this out. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Tuesday pressed members of her party to move forward on the $3.5 trillion budget amid a standoff with moderate Democrats who want to first vote on the $1 trillion infrastructure package. Quote, today, President Biden endorsed the House rule, which will allow us to consider the budget resolution, aka the next stimulus package, H.R. 4, and the bipartisan infrastructure bill next week. Pelosi said at the beginning of the Dear Colleague letter written to Democrats. The budget resolution is the key to unlocking the 51 vote privilege of the reconciliation path for our transformative Build Back Better bill, she added. 9 moderate Democrats have banded together to go against their own Democratic leadership, threatening to block the budget resolution if the bipartisan infrastructure bill is not passed first. And this is kind of one of those cases where you just can't make everybody happy. There's like 218 Democrats in the House of Representatives. And you just, again, it's difficult to make 100 people happy or 50 people happy. And they're going to have to try to make them all happy. But there's a lot more progressive Democrats than there are moderates. Pelosi wrote in her letter on Tuesday that any delay in passing the budget resolution could threaten our ability to pass this essential legislation through reconciliation. The Democrats need to move forward united to pass a motion to move the budget resolution, aka the next stimulus package, forward so that they can deliver historic process. So yeah, the Senate is actually passed the bill onto the House, and now the House will be moving on it. So apparently the Senate is now done with their portion of the bill. They have passed their 2 motions to proceed, and now the president has actually kind of given his approval on it. This is all kind of part of the process, and now the House will actually now be working on it, and they have to kind of get all their people to agree on this. And again, the one thing I've always kind of said about this is it's all kind of part of the negotiation process. Just like there's Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema from the Democrats in the Senate, you have 9 Democrats from the House, because remember, the House is like 4 times the size, at least Democrats. There's about 4 times the size of the Democrats. There's 50 Democrats in the Senate. There's like 218 Democrats in the House. So again, they're going to have to negotiate between the Democrats. Same thing they did with the third stimulus check package. Again, they did the same thing with the Democrats in the third stimulus check package. They passed it the same way. So they're going to have to do some give and take. Same process they did with the third stimulus check package. They'll ultimately end up passing it. Again, they'll just have to negotiate a little bit. Imagine having to negotiate between the Democrats and the Republicans. It would be twice as hard. Somehow they got the infrastructure package passed, which was a bipartisan agreement. This particular bill, they only have to pass with the Democrats only. So you would think it would be easier. So the House of Representatives will now have the bill. They're actually coming back from recess to vote on it. They're already in discussions on this negotiation process. You see the moderates are already like, well, I don't know. The progressives are like, yeah, we want to vote on them together. We want to have this insurance policy on the stimulus package. So they're already like in process of the negotiations. So we'll keep you up to date on this. The Senate has already done their job. They passed the 2 motions to proceed and have passed it on to the House. So now the House is actually in charge of the next stimulus package now. So yeah, everything is kind of, the ball is still rolling here. So I'll keep you up to date on this. And now the ball is in the U.S. House of Representatives chamber. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Again, there's no bill written yet. So it's interesting kind of because the Senate just kind of actually just had to do the motion to proceed. The president had to give his go ahead, which is kind of interesting there. And then now this House will have to do their thing. And I guess we'll maybe see the bill written in the House. Okay, and at some point, the House and the Senate are both going to have to pass the same bill. Okay, and that's where, remember, if we go back to the third stimulus check package, the House passed a bill and then the Senate changed it. Okay, so, and that's where we could see different stimulus items added in or anything like that. Because if you remember from the third stimulus check package, the House passed a bill and the Senate actually added in that $10,200 extra stimulus provision, which people are getting right now, actually. I've seen some comments, somebody got $3,200 check. Whether you consider that a stimulus check, I mean, it is a stimulus provision or tax refund check, whatever you consider it, it's an extra check. They added in a stimulus provision at the very last moment. So they can add stimulus provisions like that, whether you consider that an unemployment check, a tax refund check, whatever it is, they can add things like that in literally up until the last moment. So, yeah, keep your fingers crossed for all sorts of extra stimulus provisions like that added in it till the last moment. So I will keep you up to date. Things are moving, things can be added in literally up until the last moment. So I'll keep you up to date. New videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. After subscribing, you can click the bell icon that's next to the subscribe button after you subscribe to all notifications to get reminder notifications when we go live with new videos. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is how there could be a $4,000 tax credit in the next stimulus package. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.